Hi everyone. It's been a while since I've done an Instagram live video, and today I'm going to be doing a live video with one of my dearest friends and former participants of Sensual Surrender Playshop. I am a minute early, so we're just going to wait until 2:30, but in the meantime I'm going to send her an invite. Let's see. So we're just waiting for, yay! Hi, Inobe. Thank you so much for joining us today. You look so fabulous as always.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Can you hear me?
Awesome. I can hear you
Okay.
perfectly. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Beautiful. So today I was just starting to mention that, you are just someone I love and admire, and I'm so honored that and so grateful that we can have this like half-hour lunch break time to talk about things that matter to us, such as like basically women supporting each other, sisters supporting each other, and the importance of that and how that has played a role in our lives. And so I'd love to start the video with anything you just feel like sharing, to be present and just to feel like you're supported to be here.
Well, first of all, I want to say that, I really appreciate the work that you're doing. A lot of women have been deeply touched and transformed through the work that you do. And so I'm just really grateful that someone's out here putting in the work to get our sisters and our women aligned with their highest purpose and just in touch with themselves and all the important things that society doesn't really hold space for. So I appreciate that you just kind of like bulldozed and was like, listen, we're doing this. I don't even care.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's how it feels. And you know what's so funny? As you were sharing all of that, I had this vision of your designs, whether it's how you roll and what you wear, what you create, your jewelry. I feel it's that element of both fierce and gentleness, and in many ways that boldness comes through in the delicate, tender places that you hold for the feminine as well. And so for those of you who just joined us, Inobe and I are having a talk about things that matter to us, the importance of our own friendship and relationship throughout the years, and an event that has both really impacted our lives as well.
Absolutely.
And so what's so interesting, Inobe, is that you were one of the first participants of Sensual Surrender Play Shop. This was 6 years ago.
Yes, one of the OGs.
And then you also participated as a knight, the following, I think, year or two.
Touch with that fine masculine as well,
Yes.
I like to put myself as a very balanced being. For sure.
Totally. I think to be able to understand our receptive, tender aspects of ourselves, those unknown lunar aspects of who we are, it's also important that we get really in touch with the other aspects of ourselves, that yang, penetrative, solar energy, the parts that we know very well about ourselves. And so, lately, you and I mean, Inobe and I, we flow throughout the years. Like, there's moments where we're just like, it feels like a whole year didn't just like flew by. We're back to the same space. And I guess I really want to just like speak on behalf of like the importance of how much like supporting one another in our work, both professionally, and creatively. I mean, in all those realms, like how it's transformed us. And whatever you feel like sharing, how you feel either our friendship or even your relationship outside of the workshop with other sisters, or how the workshop affected you as an artist, as a woman, as a mother, as a sister. I mean, you name it.
Okay, well, yeah, I really enjoyed the workshop because it was like when you participate in a group like that, it gives you an opportunity to be vulnerable and then also to hold space for other people. Um,
Mm,
and it also allows you to see different reflections or different aspects of the same thing, different perspectives.
mm.
So I really appreciated that because, you know, one of the things that I really learned about myself in the Sensual Surrender Play Shop is that I was I was so deep in the giving aspect of being a woman, like just
Mm.
giving, providing, you know.
Sorry about that.
Hear me? No worries.
Yeah, sorry, there was a call. You said you were in the aspect of giving and
Yeah,
providing.
yeah, I was just saying that I was really deep in this whole like very one-sided aspect in many of my relationships where it was like I was giving,
Mm.
nurturing, taking care of, you know, um, and a lot of other women felt the same way, and I didn't realize that we were all kind of like in the same boat. And so then,
Mhm.
you know, when we got into our little exercises and different activities within the play shop, we found that, you know, receiving is really hard. You know, without reciprocation. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
you did my, you massage my shoulders. Okay, let me do yours now. It's like,
Yeah.
no. How much can you receive without reciprocation? And like that in itself was like mind blowing to me. And
Right.
ever since then, I've been practicing that with myself, with other partners as well. Like, you know, how much can you receive without giving back to me? Like, let me give to you,
Yeah.
and then allowing them to give to me without, you know, the expectation of reciprocation, which is like crazy.
It's so huge. That in itself, I want to explore that a little bit
Hmm.
more. It's this like allowing ourselves to be received without expectations, like just
Yeah.
being in our, allowing ourselves to be filled up. And what I tell clients and what I tell participants in this workshop as well, it's like our ability to receive has
Hmm.
so much to do with our ability to give that much back in return when it's right. But
Yeah.
in order to fully allow ourselves to receive, then you're able to understand this deep level of surrender and
Hmm.
receptivity. So it's like you almost now are in a place to want to give that back to someone else and be like, no, love, it just now a little more. Here you go, and a little
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Just take it.
Just take it, and
just
like
take
you
this
know, it's
love
all
right
good.
now. Yeah.
Just receiving for the sake purity of receiving.
Yeah.
And often people, there's so many blocks for people to receive. I mean, it can
Hmm.
be a combination of having the feeling of you need to give back, or
Yeah.
even just guilt, like am I really like worthy of receiving this much
Yeah.
attention, pleasure, love, presence, like so it really pushes you to look at your shadow and see
Yes.
where are some of your blocks, right? And I know it was
Yeah.
huge for me to just have the experience of receiving fully, and even if it's like a whole just 3 minute exercise,
Hmm.
but that 3 minute exercise can even feel like 15 minutes, an hour, because you're in
Yep.
your surrender, you're in your feminine, you're in the allowing and just going
Hmm.
deeper and deeper into all the different subtle sensations that are available when you let go of control, let go of thinking, and let go of any fixed way of being in order to be loved.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's powerful, and I do agree that I think we're kind of almost like conditioned that we're always having to like also show up and provide
Hmm.
and be so much in
Yeah.
order to be successful or blah blah blah. And so
Or
to come
even
into a
just,
space, mm-hmm,
I was gonna say, or even just to deserve to be loved and cared for back. I gotta do all this just to
yeah,
deserve to have your love and care.
mm,
It's like
yeah,
No, how about you just love me because I'm here and you know because of who I am, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, totally.
And exactly, just for me being me and for me being someone who loves myself, respects myself enough to ask for something,
Yeah.
that I've done
Yep.
my discernment and like
Mhm.
I know I'm worthy of this attention, touch, and so on. And I feel the another layer of what allows us to receive, be open to receptivity and increasing our receptivity, not just through touch and intimacy, but that also spreads out in our other aspects of our life, is like we also get really clear on where we're at, where our boundaries are, where
Yep.
our even our yellow light, so to speak, is, and our red light. Our red light is like, no, do not touch the hair, do not put oil there. I just got it done. Or
Mm-hmm.
yellow, like I'm kind of feeling like these aspects of myself are a little tender, so just check in with me before you visit them. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's not just this like sexual experience, but it's like kind of like an understanding, a set of tools to how to relate to our vital life force energy, which is what carries us on throughout our day and everyday
Absolutely.
relationships.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like what you just said how it carries over into everyday life and just like, you know, checking in before you do things like communication. That's another thing that really impacted me about the play shop was just like communication and having reverence and respect for others and
Mm,
even when you feel strongly about a subject or whatever, like, you know, maybe that person is not open to feedback. Maybe they just want you to listen to them.
mm-hmm,
They don't
mm-hmm,
hear what you have to say. They just want to be heard. So, you know,
mm-hmm.
listen to a friend who's venting at the end, be like, hey, are you open to feedback? If not,
Mm.
totally cool. I'm holding this space for you. Let it out, whatever. Or if you are open to feedback, but you know, that communication aspect is huge. Like,
Mm.
it's been really beneficial in so many of my relationships, friends, romantic and otherwise. So, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Communication is everything. And I tell people, like, oftentimes we feel blocked in our bodies, in our orgasmic potential, because our more tender parts of ourselves, those lunar aspects of ourselves, they need some form of assurance. And
Mm-hmm.
so it is up to those bold parts of ourselves, that, masculine part of ourselves, to create the structure for you to surrender into your receptivity. And so much of that has to do with how we communicate, with where we're at, what our needs and desires and intentions are, what our
Yeah.
concerns, fears, insecurities, vulnerabilities are,
Yeah.
and our limits and our boundaries and what we're willing to compromise and what we're willing not to compromise. And doesn't make you a weak person to have boundaries. Doesn't make you feel weak to have insecurities or vulnerabilities. In fact, oftentimes I've seen it over and over. Vulnerabilities and sharing our vulnerabilities with the right worthy person, it actually fuels intimacy. It fuels transparency, authenticity. And so when we find that place within ourselves where we are at choice and how we open up and share ourselves openly, then we can create intimacy with anyone, like on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, physical, whatever floats your boat. But to have the proper tools to like honor yourself right here and right now, and then honor
Mm-hmm.
yourself throughout time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Um,
That's beautiful.
Yeah. For anyone who's watching here, I know the workshop's gonna be in LA, and it is primarily for women. There's the public aspect of it is for women, and then there's a small segment where it's kind of multi-gender, but that's more of a private event. But I wanted to take a moment to kind of just shine some light on, like, the workshop is like an experience, and I can talk about that for days, and I probably feel like Inobe can too, because
Me too, for
she's
sure.
she's experienced it herself, and not just on like as a participant level, but she's also been an assistant, and she's also played like a masculine role in the masquerade puja, which is a all gender non-binary part of the workshop. But I really want to just take a moment to kind of like acknowledge sisters and Inobe, for instance, who I feel we come from similar backgrounds of, um, let's just say, for lack of a better word, and Inobe, please correct me if there's a better appropriation or a better word, but like we kind of come from this like minorities, or like, you know, we're not, you know, we didn't grow with all the resources in the world to, you know, explore, shine our brilliance. And I
Yeah.
find Inobe to be a super brilliant woman. And I feel so grateful for her sisterhood, and our, um, because it's women like her, it's queens like her who continue to contribute to my life. My work wouldn't evolve where it is now if it wasn't for her. If it wasn't for her participation for herself, like, don't get me wrong, that in itself is enough, you know, because whatever she does with her life, like, you know, the gift that keeps on giving. And Inobe continues to support my work in a way that, you know, feels right to her. For anyone who watched the music video, Con Permiso, which is amazing, by the way, all the costumes there, the jewelry, Inobe made them. She has, like, taste for generations. Her fashion is amazing. And so I just wanted to highlight her love and her presence that has deeply impacted and contributed into my life. And I don't know about you, Naomi, but I'd love to hear your thoughts about the importance of sisters coming together, but it also in a genuine way, you know, not like to
Yeah.
let's force hands and like be sisters and call each other sisters, but I mean like really moving through your shit to get on the other side of like, I want to be there for you. I'm here for you. And I'm going to look at my stuff that is keeping me from expanding like our queendom, so to speak.
Yeah, man, so as you know, my journey with sisterhood has been very interesting over the course of my life. And, you know, one of the things I struggled with was relating to other women in a way that was authentic. You know what I mean? Because I didn't realize it until I was older, but I'm a very powerful energy. And so, and I'm very assured of myself. I know who I am. I show up confident. And, you know, when I was younger, a lot of girls didn't really know how to relate to me because I wasn't trying to fit in with them. I wasn't trying to be anything I wasn't. I was just me. And a lot of girls, I don't know if they were threatened by it. I don't know what the vibe was, but I had really vibes. And so when I came to LA, I was determined to find amazing women to align with and connect with, and I manifested that like tenfold because now my women is crazy now, like crazy. And I'm so grateful because honestly, as women, the world is already set up for not for us to not succeed as well as our opposite gender counterparts. So it's like we need each other. We really need to band together to look out for each other, support each other, hold space for each other. It's like it's monumental. And ever since I put it out there that I wanted to connect with more women, boy, did the universe answer. Like they it was just like the woodwork. So now I'm like surrounded by incredible women who have impacted me in ways that I could have never imagined. You being at the top of the list, like I'm able to create, design, shoot, and execute a whole jewelry line in 3 months. You know what I mean? After working with. So it's like just having that sort of foundation has allowed me to expand so much. And you know, the divine feminine is like the most magical force in the universe. You know what I mean? You know, next to love itself, it's like love and then divine feminine. Because we are the creator. You feel me? So I'm just grateful to have evolved over time and been able to connect with some amazing, powerful women in my life. So
yeah, totally. And yeah, I see you surrounded by tons of powerful, beautiful women, and yet I feel like it's totally a reflection of who you are. And I for anyone who I guess this is a great question I'm going to ask us both. for anyone who feels like they're on the fence, who wants to explore their, what we call feminine empowerment, whether it's the energy within ourselves that is a little bit like lunar, it's a little unpredictable sometimes, or it's spontaneous, it's receptive. If you're in a place where you're wanting to get more in touch with that, what would be something that we can offer Inobe to, like, inspire people to take that leap of faith, so to speak? I'll think about it too.
Yeah, let me think about that one, because that's kind of heavy, but I really,
yeah.
just me.
I can go.
But
yeah.
I love it. Me and you, we stay in the deep end, so that's where we live. So it's fine.
Yeah, well, I'll just speak for myself, is like, I personally know when I feel called to do something and I'm on the fence, it's for a reason, it's worth to just explore why you're feeling that way. Even if you just do that, even if you're like, I feel like I'm feeling called for this, but I'm blocked for these reasons. It's out of state. It's $444, or it's I don't know who's going to be there. I don't know if I'm ready to share. Like, if you have all those things, I just encourage you to be open to looking at them. Be open to feeling all those things, because it's there. You're being guided for a reason. And for any major decision I've made or choice I've had over any kind of transformational experience or anything like that, I know that I was supposed to kind of meet that kind of like inner gut feeling. I know it was there for a reason. And so to trust that more and more. This is actually about strengthening your discernment. I feel like at the end of the day, most of my work, there's a lot of little aspects that we work with, but I feel at the end of the day, it's about strengthening your discernment, strengthening your discernment of self-love, of like doing you fully. So that you can be more fulfilled as a human being, as a woman, as a leader, as a sister, as a lover, you name it, but being deeply and fully fulfilled. And so if you're feeling these feels, it's for a reason. Not everyone is ready to resonate that. That in itself is a gift, the fact that you're already resonating to that. Anything last you want to share? Because I know you're on your lunch break, my love. So it doesn't even have to be related to my question, just anything you feel called to share with our audience.
Yeah, I did want to add on to what you were saying. I feel like, being on the fence, like you said, it's for a reason, and it should be observed and looked at and taken seriously. But then within that, ask yourself, how often are you investing in yourself? How often you put, we spend so much money on frivolous things, but how often are you investing in your own personal growth and development? How are you contributing to where you are trying to go and where you want to end up? And this is one of those things that is monumental and can totally shift your whole perspective on where you thought you were going. 'Cause you might go into this thinking one thing and come out in a completely different and even better place. And I think things like this, it is super important to invest in yourself. I think it's a extremely valuable investment. This happened 6 years ago for me, and I'm still benefiting from it. Okay, let's just be real. 6 years ago, I dove in and I never came out. Okay?
She's still in the deep end.
I'm still in the deep end, and I'm still reaping the benefits of Sensual Surrender. Still to this day, right now. Oh my gosh! And so for me, it's like it's a no-brainer. But I understand for someone who has no idea what you're getting into, trust and believe it's beyond worth your time and energy. So that's all I have to say about that.
Oh, thank you so much. That was more than amazing. And if anyone has any questions, please shoot me an email, a DM. Thank you so much for your time. Inobe, thank you so much I love you so much. Thank you for your presence. And
My
I
pleasure,
can't wait to
babe.
squeeze you.
When you're coming in a couple weeks?
I'm
Is it a
coming in
couple
like
weeks
2 weeks. Yeah.
yet?
Uh,
Can't wait to see you,
You,
love.
you'll be one of the first to know. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later too, Nobi. Love you, honey. Mwah.
Bye.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everybody.